Welcome to Tuesday's Tips from Sew Very Easy. My name is Laura, and using 2 or more rulers while cutting your fabric will save you time and improve the accuracy. Let me show you. So here we have a very large piece of fabric, and obviously it needs to be squared off so that we can start to cut our strips. And if you're right-handed, you're going to do it one way. If you're left-handed, you're going to do it the other way. You're going to take all your fabric, you're going to lie it down so that the fold is here, take the ruler, line it up, and cut it. And that way we have the straight edge. The next thing you'll have to do is move your fabric. And when you move the fabric, it's easier to have the fabric distort so that you'd have to reline it up again. However, we need to keep this fold towards us because this is the line we need to follow. So if we've trimmed it up, we would need to flip it all the way over, straighten it up again, and then start cutting. But when we start cutting, we'd have to recut this side because it might have twisted a little. So you need to start with this side first. So the first thing that needs to be done is the fabric does need to be pressed. And the fold will be towards you because you need to use this line in order to straighten up the fabric. So I'm going to cut off all of this little extra so that I can start with a nice straight line. And there's 2 ways you can do this. You can do it with 2 long rulers, or you can do it with a long ruler and a square. So let's start with the 2 long rulers. You're going to take the 1 ruler, you're going to match the folded edge with one of the straight lines in the ruler, using this edge as the edge that you're going to cut. If you're right-handed, you're not going to be able to cut here, but you need to think this is the edge you are going to cut. I like to take the biggest ruler and put it on this edge. So I have my folded edge squared right up along that first row of numbers. Then I'm able to take the second ruler and, holding this ruler down so that it does not slip, place the ruler against this ruler so both the rulers are butt together. And you don't have to worry about any of the measurements underneath this second ruler because it's not what you're going to be using. You're going to be using what's in this ruler and on. Check again that your edge is straight. You'll use this ruler to cut with next. And you can just slightly move that ruler. You don't need to move it a lot. And holding this down, you can now cut. Walk your hands so that the ruler is not going to move. The key is having the ruler not move. Now I have my straight edge. And now I'm able to cut all of the pieces as I go along because this edge has already been squared up. You can do the same thing with a square ruler. And I like to use a very big square ruler when I use this method because that way I know that I have 16.5 inches that are really nice and square. And even though the ruler is not going to hit the end of the fabric, and this is where the selvage is, it's more important that the line match up to the fold. And you'll be able to see if your fabric is nice and straight, making sure all your fabric is nice and flat. Again, using that straight line on the fold, I'm able to take the next long ruler and have it butt up against this ruler. And it has to touch all the way. And when you put this ruler here, make sure this ruler has not moved. Now I'm able to move this ruler, and again, you don't need to move it a lot. And again, walk your hand and cut your fabric. Now I do not have to move the fabric and flip it from one side to another, and I can continue to cut. After you've cut a couple of your strips out, do the same thing. Line up the ruler and re-straighten it. The fabric could need straightening every couple of inches. Now we can get our cutting done a whole lot faster. Thank you for joining me today on Tuesday's Tips. Feel free to subscribe, and as always, come on back. Let's see what we're sewing next time in the sewing room. Bye for now.